All right, everybody, what up? Thought I'd knock out a quick stream right quick. I got like around 25, 30 minutes before I'm at the house, so I'll knock out a quick stream right quick. All right, well, it is fight week. Fight week, my favorite part. Fight week. Back in the day when I was doing the media thing, the best thing about covering the fight was all the festivities before the actual fight kicked off. Kind of like once the fight came to win, it's like, you know what I'm saying? The fun part was like all the stuff, the activities for the media, leading up to the fight. So, like I said, as far as that part go about covering fights, that was cool because you get to meet a lot of different people, interact with some of I guess you could say that your competitors or, your constituents. So, that was kind of cool. You would see certain people and shit. So, I'm kind of mad because my flight isn't going to get into Dallas till like late. So basically, by the time I get to Dallas, I was supposed to get to Dallas in the afternoon, but they changed my flight. So I'm not going to get to Dallas till around like maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then afterwards, I'm going to just go straight to the hotel and probably just chill. And maybe if I feel like it, I may like go eat somewhere or maybe have some food brought to me. So it just really depends on, it really depends on what's going on. Maybe I can have some Texas barbecue brought to me or something. But we'll see. But anyway, let me talk about this fight. A lot of people are talking about this fight. What does it mean? What does it do for Errol Spence and all this stuff? And then also I'm gonna talk about the numbers, since everybody want to holler about how big of a pay-per-view star is. How big of a pay-per-view star Errol Spence is. Well, if it's true and that Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. did over 4 million pay-per-views, then Errol Spence, he need not even bother hollering about he a pay-per-view star, because that, for real. And you can holler about whether it's $50 or not. So, me myself, I think the overall fight, is there pressure on Errol Spence to perform? Yeah. It's a lot of pressure on Errol Spence to perform. Do he need to knock Danny Garcia out? I mean, he don't need to, but he would want to. Because like I said before, let's just say Errol Spence stops Danny Garcia. You already know his fans are going to elevate him to number one pound per pound. Do I think that'll make him number one pound per pound to me? I think you'll be able to have that discussion. I still think Bud is number one. But you're going to be able to make an argument that Errol Spence, at the very least, should be tied or right up there alongside Bud for number one pound per pound. But at the end of the day, Danny Garcia has 2 losses already, and should, in all of reality, have maybe about 3 or 4. What's up? So, with that being said, is Errol Spence's work cut out for him? Well, like I said, I don't know, because Saturday we got to see. We don't know how Errol Spence has looked in sparring. We just really ain't seen very much. We got to find out how Errol Spence's punch resistance is going to be. How does he plan on winning this fight? It's just a lot of things that's just going to come into play for Errol Spence. And that's just crazy. But his apologist is going to elevate him to number one if he's able to stop Danny Garcia. Like I said, it'll be it'll be a discussion about it, but do it automatically? Now, I'm gonna do a solo video about Terrence Crawford and the possibility of fighting Vergil Ortiz, and I'm gonna tell you why Bud should consider that fight. I'm gonna talk about the pros and cons of that fight and why Bud should take that fight. Because it needs to be done. But like I said, with the exception of the main event, there's nothing that excites me about that fight. Nothing. What's up? Boy, you still, boy. H Money, can you make it to Dallas? Or are you gonna have to, or are you gonna go the next go around? Yeah, I talked about that yesterday. I was yeah, I'll talk about that. I'll go to talk about that right now. I'll get back to I'm gonna pull some ideas too, because I'm gonna talk about Devin Haney too. Some ideas. I'm gonna run the bill. Okay. I'll tell you what, if my paper is a little bit better, I'll help you get out there, you know, on me. So I'll help you get out there. So yeah, I'll help you get out there. Daniel Dubois. What do I think, H? I think, once again, I think this is one of these situations where I think too soon. It was too soon. It was too soon. And after what I seen, how he quit, it was just too soon. He wasn't ready for a fight like that. And I think to a certain degree, he got pushed to that fight because he quit. I mean, he quit after getting hit with a stiff jab. And you kind of wonder where his head is. Now, as far as Joe Joyce goes, shit, kudos to him. He made a dude quit. He made him quit. It's like nothing we could say. Joe Joyce did his thing. He proved that I mean, to me, he proved that he's a force to be reckoned with. I mean, the dude got power. I mean, he's slow as an ox, but I mean, for real, he's slower than a camel in the desert, but he got power. He got power. He got real power. But he's an interim champion, so at the very least, he gonna get a shot at least at one of the big three. Yeah, you know what? They rushed that kid. That's one of them situations where they rushed that kid. And now look what happened. You got to ask yourself, when a dude get into a fight and he quit, you got to kind of wonder, is he going to be, like, he didn't get knocked out. He waited to get counted out. He quit. He quit. That he went Colin Kaepernick. He took a real knee. He took it. Hey, he didn't take a knee for racial equality and police brutality. He took a knee from getting his ass beat. That jab just was doing a lot of damage to him. Because Joe Joyce, he just basically beat him with a jab. I keep trying to tell people a good power jab will keep you in a fight or win you a fight. Now people gonna listen. But I hope the kid can recover. But when these things happen, that means eventually he gonna do it. He's gonna do it again. He's gonna do it again. Don't you remember Victor Ortiz? No, it ain't just cool, man. It like we one of them dudes. We kind of became prisoners of the moment. I really didn't have a horse in the race. I kind of thought that Dubois might be ready, but then Joe Joyce, he know that his time is running out. He need to get up in there and at least get his title shot right now. So, you know. But yeah, man. As far as Dubois go, it's just like Victor Ortiz. Don't you remember when he said, hey, I don't deserve to take punishment like that? And he was like, man, my eye is like, just like, you know what I'm saying? His eye was probably thumping. But that just goes to show you that he can't endure the pain. He just wasn't ready. Yeah, he quit against Marcos Martinez. He said, no, you keep forgetting. He said, I don't deserve to take punishment like that. Like who said something like that? He said, I don't deserve to take punishment like that. Well, okay. All right, bro. Like, I mean, like, how do you respond to something like that when you say in front of everybody, you say, hey, man, I don't deserve to take punishment like that. It was a brutal fight. Hey, Victor Ortiz said, I do not deserve to take punishment like this. But, oh man, that was classic. I should sample that and put that on a track or something. He said, I don't deserve to take punishment. Oh man. But you know, that's the boxing game, you know, for real. That's the boxing game. But yeah, man. Oh man, that was hilarious. But yeah, man, I'm gonna do a solo video breaking this down on some real shit. I know Oscar, as he prepares for his comeback, he's sitting up saying he would like to make Vergil Ortiz versus Terrence Crawford. Oh, please make that fight. I'm like, yeah, Oscar, please make that fight. When you see when I say that fight is going to end very bad for Ortiz. Yeah, hey, you right. Hey, yeah, Victor Ortiz ain't exactly what you call a genius, but you know, like for real. Like he did that stupid shit with Floyd. He sat up there and he was self-destructed against Floyd. And you know, Floyd didn't sucker punch him. How is it a sucker punch when dude looking right at you? The referee always tell you before the fight began, protect yourself at all times. It wasn't no sucker punch. How is it a sucker punch when the referee say fight? Yeah, H, he is a cat. He is a different type of fella. For real, he is a different type of dude. So, you know, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, shocked about. I know, you know, I know they were saying that the Mike Tyson Roy Jones Jr. fight, the pre-orders was looking good, but now they saying the overall numbers, they saying that this fight may have sold like 4.2 million, you know, pay-per-views. Like I said, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. And that just goes to show you people's thirst. And it would be a shame that it took Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. But like I said, hopefully it light a fire under these other fighters. Maybe we could start getting the fights we want. Maybe we could get like Tank versus, you know, Tiafimo, then Tank versus Gary Russell Jr., then Tank versus Devin Haney. Wait, say that again? I know I'm gonna talk about how the Raiders got destroyed by by the Atlanta Falcons. I've been trying to tell people I knew Derek Carr was going to become Derek Carr. I'm gonna be honest with you, H. I don't think nobody gonna beat the Chiefs or Pittsburgh. I mean, I like the Bills, but Pittsburgh's defense could get them over the hump versus Kansas City, but at the end of the day, they still gonna have to throw the ball. Nah, I know, but the Bills is the Buffalo Bills. I mean, you talk about a team that went to the Super Bowl 4 years straight and couldn't get it done. This is why sometimes I find it strange that Jim Kelly is in the Hall of Fame, but then Donovan McNabb isn't in the Hall of Fame. So that's why, you know what I'm saying? But we already know why that is. Donovan McNabb got the best touchdown interception rate. Look it up, H Money. Look at Donovan McNabb's touchdown interception ratio versus quarterbacks that's already in the Hall of Fame. Terry Bradshaw averaged an interception per game his whole career. Look at Terry Bradshaw's numbers. He threw for like 200, I think he threw for 215 touchdowns to 213 interceptions. You heard me correct. Terry Bradshaw averaged an interception per game his whole career. That ain't exactly what you call lights out. So, I'm just keeping it 100. I think what happened with Donovan McNabb when it went. It was just one of the, like, he had the best 8-9 year stretch I ever seen. I think he did enough to get into the Hall of Fame. I wouldn't exactly say T.O. I just think Donovan McNabb was it's just playing in Philadelphia. Because if you look at Donovan McNabb's numbers, Donovan McNabb have Hall of Fame numbers. Maybe H, you could do a solo video about it. Look at Terry Bradshaw's numbers. Look at Donovan McNabb numbers. Look at Steve Young's numbers, and look at Troy Aikman's numbers. When you see Troy Aikman's numbers, H Money, you gonna be like, how in the hell did Troy Aikman get into the Hall of Fame? Okay, he won 3 Super Bowls. He won 3 Super Bowls. He won 3 Super Bowls, H Money. But Troy Aikman never, peep this out, and you can look this up yourself. Troy Aikman never won a league MVP. He never won a Super Bowl MVP, if I'm not mistaken. He only had one season. Troy Aikman only had one season where he threw for more than 20 touchdowns. Troy Aikman was the most pedestrian, run-of-the-mill quarterback that ever played. And these Dallas Cowboy fans get mad, but they can't argue against it. Nah, H, he didn't have great. He only had one season where he threw for more than 20 touchdowns. He was what you call a game manager. And keep in mind, the Dallas Cowboys had a good offensive line when he played. If you put Peyton Manning or Tom Brady with that offensive line that the Dallas Cowboys had, they would have probably won 5 Super Bowls in a row. You put Montana, man, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. When they offensive line started to fall apart, that's when they start, like you seen how Troy Aikman was. He wasn't for real. Find me one highlight reel where Troy Aikman make a clutch throw. I'm just I'm just saying. You can't dispute these facts. You can't dispute history. You can't dispute the numbers. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, not to mention, yeah, thanks for chiming in too, Greg. Not to mention he had the Michael Irvin, and then he had Emmitt Smith. So I mean, your life would be easier too if you had arguably probably the greatest running back that ever played the game. Arguably, his numbers say he the greatest running back that ever played. Well, as far as stats go, I still might would take Marshall Faulk over Emmitt Smith. Marshall Faulk was special. That Marshall Faulk could line up as a wide receiver and he could run the ball. Hey, that's true, Greg. They ain't been. I know Jimmy Johnson. Hey, Jimmy Johnson, the only coach that ever got fired after winning the Super Bowl. And then Barry Switzer came in and then he won one. Yeah, I'm trying to tell people, if you didn't see Marshall Faulk play, Marshall Faulk was special. It's crazy that the Colts didn't believe in him. And he went to the man. And first of all, Marshall Faulk should have won the MVP twice. Kurt Warner had no business winning the MVP 2 years. He didn't have no business winning the MVP twice. We all know that should have went to Marshall Faulk. Like I said, Marshall Faulk was special. Hey, you ain't lying, H Money. You could put Marshall Faulk in the slot, you could put him in the slot, and then, like I said, line him up as a receiver. He could catch it. That fool could catch a 30-yard bomb. Dude, that was crazy. And he didn't hardly fumble. Man, I'm telling you, he didn't hardly fumble, bruh. Like I said, Marshall Faulk was the truth. Man, they got to get Lamar Jackson some AH. I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth. Lamar Jackson, if they don't get that man some receivers, he headed towards Michael Vickville. Because they gonna run him into the ground. Like, they gotta get him some receivers, and they gotta call plays where he just basically throw the ball. They got him doing they just run too many gadget plays. Now, he ain't gonna play on Tuesday. So, you know. Well, they the ones that didn't want. Hey, they could have tried to get Antonio Brown. They didn't want him. So, you know. Hey, I know that receiver that Pittsburgh got, he a beast. Chase Claypool. Oh, Josh Allen, he can play. Yeah, he can play. I just like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't my type of person. Because, you know, I don't like dudes like him. Yeah, Claypool is H. Is you gonna broadcast the game on Tuesday? You gonna call the game on Tuesday between the Steelers and the Ravens? Or you gonna are you just gonna just chill? Cause that game on Tuesday, so I'm gonna be able to watch that game because I'm off on Tuesday. You think so? You think Metcalf is the next T.O.? I think you should. Metcalf is pretty good, though. He pretty good. But you got to understand now, the wide receiver game is going to change a lot now because now, everybody going to want these. You know, now everybody going to want these 6'5" hybrid, like Kevin Durant, like receivers now. Now everybody gonna want these, like, for real. They gonna want every receiver to be 6'4", 6'5" now. Cause man, man. Like I told you, like I said in that video, Pittsburgh got to try to win this year, because at the end of the day, you don't know how much time like Ben Roethlisberger got. Cause like I said, homeboy's 38 now. So you figure they got to try to win. They got to try to win now. You know what I didn't like about T.O.? Sometimes T.O., and this is the honest to God truth about T.O., there were times in big games T.O. would just drop balls. Because I remember that game. I saw that game versus Green Bay, where T.O. caught the game-winning touchdown. T.O. had dropped like about 3 or 4 balls that game. And Steve Young still like took a chance on him. And a lot of people don't understand. It's funny, like catching a ball from a left-hand quarterback versus a right-hand quarterback. I don't know what the dynamics is, but it's just weird when you try to catch when you have a left-hand quarterback versus a right hand. It's just weird. And Steve Young was a left-hand quarterback just like Vic was. But we all know Michael Vick never learned how to read defenses. Lamar Jackson can read defenses, but then they just put him in bad situations to where they always want him to run the option. After a while, defenses start preparing for that. They'd be like, well, it's going to be at least 2 or 3 plays where they try to run the spread offense. And then they line Lamar Jackson up in the spread offense, and you know he finna take off running. Jim Harbaugh, he pissed me off, man. Because like I said, you know Joe Flacco, you put Joe Flacco in positions to throw the ball. You wasn't trying to do all that trickery with what's-the-face, with Joe Flacco, but then Lamar Jackson, you trying to use him up. Like I said, he gonna be done after his 6th season. Jake Paul ain't got no damn hands. Jake Paul fought a dude with no boxing experience whatsoever. Let me tell you something. Jake Paul, he feeling himself right now. He getting his Mac Dre on. He in the building and he feeling himself. Soon as Jake Paul get in the ring with a half decent boxer, he gonna get his ass. And I want it to happen too, because I want him to keep thinking that he a real boxer. Well, Nate Robinson wasn't no boxer. The 2 people that Jake Paul knocked out didn't have no boxing experience whatsoever. He just like a reformed. He remind me of Butterbean. He just in better shape. Trust me, Jake Paul gonna get exposed when he fight a real boxer. And I'm gonna tell you right now, people calling, he already getting called out. Hey, I'm telling you, H, don't jump on the Jake Paul bandwagon, because I'm telling you right, and do not be fooled. This dude ain't fighting no real fighters. He not fighting no. Shelly. I got power. Nate Robinson is 5'7". Let me tell you something, H. I covered the big three when it came to Oakland because I'm 5'11". I'm 5'11", 240 pounds. Nate Robinson is hella small. He a little dude. Like I said, the average B-level fighter will beat the living hell out of Jake Paul. And Jake Paul is getting on my nerve because he talking about he the new Mayweather. Based off what? Like, dude, who have you fought? Lance Stevenson? The cyclist? And see, I'm gonna tell you something else. You gotta understand, like, fighting. Nate Robinson kept lunging towards Paul with his face out. If you got your chin out and you charge it towards somebody and you throw your fist at the right time, you can knock anybody out. It's pretty much what happened to Paul Williams. He's lunging towards Sergio Martinez. Sergio Martinez timed that left and he hit Paul Williams flush. And the impact of you charging towards a dude with your face out and then the punch, it's a double impact. It's like getting hit twice. So that's why, you know what I'm saying? That's why Sergio Martinez was able to put Paul Williams lights out. And the same thing with Nate Campbell. Do not be fooled by Jake Paul. Because like I said, when he fights somebody, had that been a regular street fight, Nate Robinson would have beat the hell out of Jake Paul. Because one, he got small legs. And then the thing is with me, y'all already seen, I can leg lift 1,000 pounds. So if Jake Paul had a street fight with me and he tried to call himself trying to lift me up, oh boy, would it be, oh boy. When I say it would be lights out, I would, man. See, if you don't work, like, I got big calves. You look at his legs. Like I said, if that dude if that dude tried to call himself trying to tussle with me, that would be his ass. That would be his ass. And trust me, he gonna get exposed. Cause one, he talking too greasy. Dude, you knocked out two nobodies. Well, at the end of the day, we can't get the real fights. I mean, we can't get the real fights. So, I mean, what is we supposed to do? Oh, I already know Jake Paul gonna get slumped. I think Jake Paul gonna get slumped by somebody off the streets. Cause I think he gonna really think that he like a real fighter. And somebody gonna slump him. And I hope it get put on YouTube too. So his career, so you know what I'm saying? Because somebody gonna slump him. I promise you. It may not even be in an actual fight. Somebody gonna slump that dude. And first of all, he need to stay off that coke. Go look at that video of him sitting in that chair. His eyes, how wide his eyes was. Like I said, bruh, I'm an ex-trapper. So I know what them type of dudes look like. He better stay off that he better stay off that candy. He better stay off that candy. He better leave that powwow alone. Now that also gonna play a role in his downfall. H, go look at them Ellie setback videos. How wide his eyes was open. He getting his Joe Kazagi on. So like I said, keep in mind. Keep in mind. One day he gonna mess with the wrong person. He gonna be thinking that he's some real boxer, and he gonna mess with one of them street dudes that might be fresh out the pen. Cause you gotta keep in mind, he a YouTuber. What do YouTubers do for the most part? They put out videos. So you don't think they're gonna be somebody that's gonna test him? You don't think people gonna be testing him now? And he put himself in that position. Cause he's sitting up there, he talking all this shit like, be careful what you ask for. He said, yeah, I'm a real fighter. If you got people, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Oh, Logan Paul is even worse. When I say Logan Paul is even worse, like I said, when Jake Paul fights somebody with half decent boxing skills, what do you think would have happened? Okay. Do you think he would have did to Nate Robinson? You think he would have did that to Badou Jack? Him and Badou Jack is the same size. When I say Badou Jack would have beat the holy hell out of Jake Paul, and like I said, I want you to keep giving him his props. Because I want him to get to the point to where he gets so arrogant and full of himself to where he actually take on a real boxer. And when you see him get slumped, I'ma love every minute. Because it's going to happen. I want Jake Paul to keep thinking that I want him to think that he's better than what he really is. And I'm telling you, like I said, and when it happens, I'm going to enjoy it. What example did he make out of Nate Robinson except I knocked out an NBA player that didn't have no boxing background whatsoever. Come on, H, don't do that. Don't do that, bruh. What are you gonna do? I made an example out of a dude. Did you see how terrible Nate Robinson looked? You could tell this dude didn't have no boxing background. Now Damian Lillard got a boxing background. He a hooper. Hey, I bet you Jake Paul wouldn't run up on Jermaine O'Neal. Jermaine O'Neal didn't even land his punch full throttle on that Mexican. He actually fell and still slept the dude. Lillard really boxed. And I'm telling you right now, quiet as kept, there's some NBA players that really box. Steven Jackson would have knocked Jake Paul out. Jermaine O'Neal would decapitate him. Yeah, Jermaine O'Neal didn't even land a punch full throttle. I'm glad, H, because he would have killed that dude. He slipped and he didn't even get him full throttle. He slipped and he still caught dude and slept him. Nah, Isaiah Thomas too old, man. I'm going to tell you right now, H, it's a lot of basketball players that box. Because Kobe was boxing and he was taking martial arts. You know, after he got two-piece by homeboy. Who was that dude, that two-piece Kobe Bryant? Little dude. Damn, what's that dude's name that like hit Kobe with the quick two-piece? Damn, what's that dude's name? He hit Kobe with what's that dude's name, man? That hit Kobe with a quick. Oh yeah, I heard he could. No, no, I ain't talking about the dude. Yeah, Chris Childs. Yeah, he hit Kobe with a bink bink. Man, they said, man, after that, Kobe was so embarrassed he started taking boxing and MMA. Yeah, Christian. Yeah, thanks for Chris Childs. I remember that. Yeah, he hit Kobe with a two. He hit Kobe with a doo doo. He hit him with two quick ones. He hit him with he hit him with like two quick ones and did like he just started like. Yeah, Kobe was so embarrassed he just started like, man, I'm finna start taking it up. Yep, Chris Childs. He hit Kobe with him and Kobe got into a little scuffle, right? And then he hit Kobe with two. Yep. Hey, he hit Kobe with two. Hey, the worst. Hey, that would be interesting. Hey, the worst fight I ever seen was like Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning. They was just throwing wind. I mean, they could that was hella funny. Like they was like trying to land something, but neither one of them dudes could like land something. It was man, that was classic. Nah, I want Jake Paul to fight Damian Lillard. Let Damian Lillard, because I know who Damian Lillard trained with. Damian Lillard trained with wait a minute. Don't Damian Lillard train with what's her face sometime? He train with Mickey Bay sometimes. Damian Lillard really like fuck with the boxing shit. Why would Allen Iverson fight like shit? Allen Iverson ain't no fighter. Allen Iverson he'd have Jake Paul touched. Allen Iverson a real street dude. Allen Iverson, you ain't got to worry about Allen Iverson fighting. Allen Iverson go put some bands on him. He better not run up on no Allen Iverson. He better. Some of these NBA players, like, hey, you don't want no real street. Like, all I can say about J.R. Ryder, because J.R. Ryder from the town, you don't want you don't, for real. I just know how some of these dudes roll. I wouldn't mind seeing Damian Lillard, because like I said, I know Damian Lillard trained with actual trainers. Nah, Adrian Broner too small, man. He give up too much height. You need a guy, because I'm going to tell you right now, Jake Paul, I could tell you could take him out with some body shots. He ain't got a good lower body. Jake Paul ain't got a good lower body, and he looked like he weak to the body. But don't tell him. I can look at his body, and I could tell he weak to the body. I could tell that somebody would break him down with body shots, get on the inside and start picking his body apart. Trust me. All right, you guys. I'll be back.